every actor, once casted, does his or her best to prepare for the role that they've been selected for. Let's take a look at 5 actors who prepared for movie roles in the worst way possible. Number 5. James McAvoy. When it comes to the X-Men movies, there's no doubt that any actor worth the salt would be thrilled to get selected for these movies, and this is exactly what happened with James McAvoy when he was finalized for playing a young Charles Xavier in X-Men First Class. Naturally, when he found out that he would be working alongside big names in the industry like Jennifer Lawrence and Michael Fassbender, he knew he would have to dive completely into the role and prepare for it as much as he can. Being a core member of the prequel era of X-Men is definitely a big deal, and we can understand the pressure that James McAvoy must have felt. Keeping his commitment to the role and showing that he was willing to go to any lengths, James McAvoy ended up shaving his entire head so he could get the iconic Charles Xavier look. However, 1 month before the shooting started, James McAvoy was informed that this was not the look that the producers were going for, thus indicating that he had gotten rid of his luscious locks for nothing. He had to then wear extensions for the movie, but was finally able to showcase his bald look in X-Men: The Apocalypse. But before we get into more details about 5 actors who prepared for movie roles in the worst way possible, if you're liking our content so far, then be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Make sure you also subscribe to our channel and turn on the notifications button so you can be notified every time we post a new video, as well as be up to date about how some of your favorite actors try to prepare for their roles so they can deliver the performance of their lifetime. Number 4. Robert Pattinson. When it comes to Robert Pattinson's acting in The Lighthouse, even though his performance was highly praised, what happened behind the scenes wasn't all that desirable. Robert Pattinson would often find himself disappointing the directors because of the lack of effort he was putting in and the monotonous manner in which he would act out his roles. While not preparing for a role is one thing, Robert Pattinson decided to go completely opposite and fully embrace the role that he was supposed to play in one of the scenes. There was a particular part where Robert Pattinson's character is shown to be under the influence, and for this scene, Robert Pattinson decided to get completely drunk on set. As a result, everyone in the audience and the cast and crew members could see that he was under the influence and was acting bizarrely, which led to him wetting himself and throwing up in front of the audience. The directors had to forcefully tell Robert Pattinson to pull himself together, or else they would have to call it a day. Well, can you blame them? Number 3. Christian Bale. When it comes to Christian Bale, he's probably the most popular Batman of his time. However, he's also played several other notable roles, including his role in The Machinist. Christian Bale was set to play the role of Trevor Resnick, and he had to undergo extreme physical training in order to prepare himself for this role. His role in The Machinist required him to transform his body into an extremely skinny body type, and Christian Bale was able to successfully do this. However, soon after this, he was sent to play the role of the Dark Knight, and for this, he was required to put on 100 pounds. Keeping his commitment to his career intact, Christian Bale was able to put himself through rigorous training and did put on the 100 pounds that the role required. However, after Christian Bale had done all this effort, he was told by the director Christopher Nolan that he was too big for the role. Christian Bale then had to shed 20 pounds just so he could have the perfect figure for the role of Batman. Well, even though it sounds strenuous, we have to applaud his commitment to his roles. Number 2. Lady Gaga. In order to nail her role as Patrizia Reggiani, Lady Gaga went all in and decided to opt for method acting, where she stayed in character for a period of 9 months. She ended up reading Patrizia's extensive autobiography, spent hours and hours acing her Italian accent, and even went ahead and dyed her hair immediately, going from blonde to all black. Despite all this, Lady Gaga had to wear over 55 wigs on set for the 9 months when she was in character. She consumed an extensive amount of pasta to further perfect her portrayal of Patrizia Reggiani. Number 1. Austin Butler. When preparing for his role as Elvis Presley, Austin Butler decided to explore a personal hobby of Elvis Presley and started practicing martial arts on a daily basis. However, even though Austin Butler did this in an attempt to nail Elvis Presley's iconic dance and hip-hop moves on stage, he did report that he suffered multiple injuries during the course of his preparation. Austin ended up dislocating his shoulder and even popping one of his knees. Well, We have to certainly admit that practicing martial arts and doing karate every day when your body's not used to it can be a little risky, and that's exactly what happened with Austin Butler. Well, this was our take on some of the worst possible ways in which actors prepare for their roles. Let us know in the comments below if you can think of any more.